Okay, today we're going to be working on the textured Bobble messy bun hat. And let me just get a little better angle there. Sorry, you guys. Okay, so for this pattern, I'm going to be using a 4mm crochet hook. And the yarn that I'm using is the Bernat Baby Big Balls Sport Yarn. That's such a tongue twister. Anyway, there is a link in the description below have a look at the links that I have included in the description. There's a number of different helpful links. There is a link to the written pattern that also offers a size chart in case you're making a size different than the one that I am making in this video, which is a standard adult small. So it could actually be like a child or an adult small. And yeah, so there is the hat size chart that I reference when I'm making my hats. That's in the link in the description below it's included in the written pattern on the page on my website there. So you can go ahead and click that and have a look. There's also a link to get the materials that you see me using in this video. So if you're missing any, you can go ahead and order those. I've got them off of Amazon. So I've included some links there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first step is we're going to make a chain. Now, I'm going to warn you ahead of time. I've had comments like this. Sometimes you're going to see me holding my hook a little bit differently. To be honest with you, it's just a matter of comfort and what I prefer, depending on the hook that I'm working with. I know that sounds weird, but I'm weird, so whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to begin with chain 10. So you're going to wrap the yarn around your finger and just kind of drape it over like this. Pick up that little bottom piece and push that top part partially through and give it a tug there. Secure it onto your hook. And we're going to begin, like I said, with a chain 10. So you're going to yarn over your hook and pull through the loop. Yarn over and pull through the loop. So we're going to go until we get to 10. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now working in the second chain from the hook, so there's our first one there. We're going to work in the second. We're going to do a single crochet in each chain down the row. So you're just going to push your hook into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. You now have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. So let's go ahead and just work 1 single crochet in each chain down the row. If I go too fast for you on any stitches that you see in this pattern, you can go ahead and visit my actual channel and have a look at the stitch tutorials where I do focus on specific stitches, and it'll walk you through a lot slower, okay? Or you can always just rewind back a step or two on this. Okay, so now we're at the end of our single crochet row, and you should now have 9 stitches because we started in the second chain from the hook, okay? So let's move on to our next row. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So for this next row, we're just going to be working single crochets for a little while here, but this time we're going to be working in the back loop. So when we work into a stitch, normally you would push your hook through and you see it going through the entire stitch there. But for this one, we're actually going to go right over our work and into the back loop. It's a little hard to see on the first stitch here because it's a little awkward, but you can see there that I've gone over the top of the stitch and into the back loop only. And we're just going to work our single crochet the way that we have been. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and do your back loop single crochets all the way down. And this is going to give us that really nice ribbed look to right now we're working on the band or brim of our hat, whatever you prefer to call it. Okay, so, and like I said, you should have 9 stitches in total. For those of you that like to keep track of your stitch count, it's a great way to make sure that you haven't messed up anywhere along the way. Okay, so we've done our back loop single crochets all the way down. Now we're going to chain 1, Would help if I had my hook the right way. I was looking at my written pattern there off to the side. So chain 1 and turn your work. Let me have a see. So now we are going to repeat that last row. We're just going to be working in the back loop, doing your back loop single crochets, and you're literally just going to keep on doing this back loop single crochet every single stitch down the row. When you get to the end of your row, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And you're going to do back loop single crochets again all the way down, chain 1 and turn your work. And you are going to do this for a total. So when I say total, I'm not saying like this many more, I'm saying total including the now 2 rows that we've just done. So keep on going, doing your back loop single crochets, chain 1, turn your work for a total of 64 rows. Okay, so after the one here, you're going to keep on going for 64 more. So in total, the amount of rows that you should have is 65 in total. Okay, so 64 more rows, but we've just done one together. So now after this second one, so we're gonna have 1, 2, you're gonna keep on going now for until you reach a total of 65 rows in total of your back loop single crochets. And then come back. Just make sure when you get to the end of each row that you chain 1 and turn your work. That's really important. Otherwise it's going to start to look a little bit wonky. Okay. So go ahead and do those rows and then come on back and I'll show you the next step. Okay. So now that you finished all your rows of back loop single crochets, after this last one here, you're going to chain 1 and then you're going to take your work and, sorry, I like to work from this side, just fold it in half. Okay. Bear with me here, I'm just lining it up. Okay, so you're going to fold it in half, lining up the edges. And we're going to close these 2 together to create a seam, and we're going to do that with slip stitches. Okay, so you're just going to take your hook, let me pick up my working yarn here, and push it into that first stitch there. Line it up to the other side and just make sure it's completely even. Yarn over and pull right through all the loops that are on your hook. Right through both stitches, right through that loop. Okay, and that's how you do a slip stitch. So you're just going to go ahead, push your hook through both edges and slip stitch to close it. So you're just going to go ahead and do that all the way down and then come back. Okay, so now that you've done that all the way down, you're going to notice that your hat is, the brim of your hat is inside out. So just flip it around so it's the right way. And get your hook back on there. Move that little tail out of the way if you've got it in your way. Okay, and now we're going to chain 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to half double crochet evenly all the way around. The reason I say evenly is because now we're working down the side of our work, because remember we were working this way. So this is actually the side of our work. So it's a little awkward, but after this round it'll be fine because you'll be working in stitches. So to do a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over your hook, push it through, yarn over, pull up a loop. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And that's a half double crochet. So you're just going to go ahead and work your half double crochets evenly all the way around. And by the time you get back to the beginning, you should have a total of, let me see how many stitches you should have, 66. So by the time that you get back around to the start, you should have a total of 66 stitches. So go ahead and work your half double crochets all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you're back at the start, you're going to close this round that you just did with a slip stitch in that chain 1 space that you have from the start of the round. So you're just going to close it with a slip stitch. Now we're going to begin our bobble stitch round. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And in that first stitch, we're going to yarn over, push our hook through the stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. We're going to do it again. Yarn over, go in the very same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. And again in the very same stitch. And one more time in the very same stitch. Okay, so now you're going to see that you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. I want to take note of something really quickly here before we move on. The first bobble is a little different than all the rest because we have our chain 3, which is going to count towards the bobble. Okay, so we went and worked into that stitch 4 times. We will do that always for the first one. So we worked into the stitch 4 times and we have 5 loops on our hook. For all the remaining ones, we would be working into the stitch 5 times and we will have 6 loops on our hook, okay? So I wanted to make note of that, and the only reason for the difference is because of our chain 3, okay? So now you're gonna yarn over and pull right through all those loops on your hook. In the next stitch, we're gonna do a regular single crochet. And if you notice, I gave it a little bit of a tug for the tension because that's what really holds our bobbles in place, okay? Just a little tug. Now going into the next stitch here, so going into that next stitch, we're gonna yarn over, put our hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over. We're going to do this a total of 5 times into the very same stitch. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, I need to pull a little more yarn. It's just getting a little tight there for me. Okay, so now we've gone into that stitch 5 times and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on our hook, and that's the way it's going to be for the rest of our bobbles, okay? Yarn over, pull through all the loops on our hook. In the very next stitch, single crochet. I'm going to do one more bobble with you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 6, single crochet in the next stitch. So you're just going to go ahead and continue doing that all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you've back to the beginning after finishing that bobble stitch round, you're going to find the top of your chain 3 from how you started your round, and we're going to close this with a slip stitch in the top of that chain 3. Oops. Okay. Now we're going to chain 1 for this next round. So now I want you to pay attention to this part. If you have the written pattern, you'll see it written like this, but we are going to begin a 4-row repeat from this point on, okay? So this first bobble stitch round, now you know what I'm talking about when I refer to bobble stitch, but we're going to be beginning our 4-row repeat starting now, okay? So we're going to do 1 half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. Okay, so you're just going to go around and make sure that you're doing it in the stitch that's on top of your bobble stitch and that single crochet stitch in between. All right, and the best way to make sure that you are on track is you can use these half double crochet rounds to make sure to count your stitch count. Okay, so don't forget that by the time that you get to the end, you should have 66 stitches. if you're following my pattern exactly. If you're going off measurement, well, you should know what your stitch count is now. And it should be remaining the same all the way through until we're doing decrease rounds at the top of our project. So go ahead and just keep on working 1/2 double crochet in every single stitch all the way around, and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished working all of your 1/2 double crochets all the way around, you are going to locate your chain 1 space from the start of the round, and you're going to close this round with a slip stitch in that chain 1 space. And now you're going to chain 1, and now we're going to work a back post 1/2 double crochet all the way around. So you're going to yarn over your hook, and you're going to bring your hook in behind your work, push it in toward the front of your stitch there, and working around this post, we're going to bring our hook in front of it to push the post to the back of our work, and we're going to push our hook through the other side underneath the next stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop by just dragging it right back in front of that post. Okay, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, just like a regular 1/2 double crochet. Let's do another one around the next post. You're going to yarn over, push your hook in beside that post, push your hook around the front of it and out the other side, so it's looking like this. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. Again. So you're just going to go ahead and keep on working these back post 1/2 double crochets all the way around. I just want to do a few here and show you the way it should be looking. Okay. So you can see it's like your stitches are getting pushed forward. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and work those back post 1/2 double crochets all the way around. When you get back to the start, you're going to close with a slip stitch and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished that round, you're going to chain 1. Of course, you closed with a slip stitch, and we're now going to chain 1. And then one more time. So remember I told you this is going to be a 4-row repeat. So you did 1/2 double crochets in every stitch around. You now just did back post 1/2 double crochets all the way around. Now for our 3rd round of this 4-row repeat, we're doing 1/2 double crochets in every single stitch all the way around. Oh, sorry, you guys. Okay, so you're just going to work 1/2 double crochet in every single stitch all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished those 1/2 double crochets all the way around, you're going to close that round with a slip stitch. And then for the 4th round of this 4-row repeat, you're going to chain 3. And you're going to do a bobble stitch round. So I'll do one more bobble stitch with you here, the steps to remind you for this round. So you're going to yarn over. And for the first one here, because of the chain 3, we're only going to work into this stitch 4 times. That's 2, oops, 3, 4. And for the first one, you'll only have 5 loops on your hook. Pull through all 5. In the next stitch, single crochet. And then in this one, you're going to go ahead and work into that stitch 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and go through all 6. Single crochet. Okay? So now you're going to continue on working this 4-row repeat until you've done it 3 more times. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more here. Let me just see. Let me just finish off this one and then I'll explain it to you better. And then single crochet. Okay, so let's just review. So this 4 round repeat was after this bobble stitch, right? So you did half double crochets, and then you did your back post half double crochets, and then you did your half double crochets. Okay, so maybe push pause, grab a pen and paper. Right now, go ahead, push pause, grab a pen and paper, just so you can mark this little step down. So 4 row, you're 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna be doing those, repeating those 4 for 3 more times after this bobble, okay? So you're gonna finish this 4th one and you're gonna do your 4 again, okay? The 4 are, so mark this down. It's gonna be 1 half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. That's what you're gonna work on top of your bobbles, okay? So you're gonna do 1 round of half double crochets. Then you're gonna close with a slip stitch, chain 1. You're gonna do a round of doing back post half double crochets all the way around. You're gonna close with a slip stitch and chain 1. Then you're gonna do your regular half double crochets in every stitch all the way around. You're going to close with a slip stitch, chain 3. Then you're gonna do your bobble stitch round, okay? So you're gonna repeat those 4 rounds 3 more times, okay? And then come back. Now that you've finished doing those 4 row repeats for your 3 more rounds, you should be looking at a bobble stitch round as the last round that you completed, okay? So you've closed with a slip stitch, we're gonna chain 1. And now what we're going to do is work a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. So you're just gonna put your hook right through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Push your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Okay, so you're just gonna go ahead and keep on working your single crochets in every single stitch all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you finished that round, you close with a slip stitch and you chain 1. Now we're gonna begin our decreasing rounds. So we're gonna do a single crochet decrease. You're just gonna push your hook in the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Then you're gonna go into the very next stitch beside it, yarn over, pull up a loop. You've now got 3 loops on your hook. You're gonna yarn over and pull through all 3, okay? So that's a single crochet decrease. We're gonna do another one. Okay, so into the very next stitch. So we're working in 2 stitches because we're taking these 2 stitches and we are turning them into 1 stitch. So now we've done 2 single crochet decreases. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the following 2 stitches. So just a regular single crochet in each of the following 2 stitches. We're going to do another 2 single crochet decreases. And then a regular single crochet in the following 2 stitches. So you're going to go ahead and just continue on with these alternating stitches all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you finished that round, you close the slip stitch and you chain 1. We're going to repeat that all over again for another round. So just 2 single crochet decreases, 2 single crochets. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and keep on working these alternating stitches all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, you're just going to close with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished that round, you're going to work just a regular half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. So go ahead and work your half double crochets in every stitch all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you've finished doing your regular half double crochets all the way around, you'll have closed of the slip stitch and chain 1. Now we're going to do our back post half double crochets all the way around. So just work a regular back post half double crochet in every single stitch all the way around and then come back. Okay, so now that you finished that round of the back post half double crochets, we are going to do half double crochet decrease, half double crochet, half double crochet decrease, half double crochet all the way around. So the way we do a half double crochet decrease is the very same as a single crochet, it's just that we're going to yarn over our hook before we do it. Okay, so yarn over, push your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, oops, sorry guys, pull up a loop, go into the very next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4 of the loops that are on your hook, and then a regular half double crochet. Half double crochet decrease, half double crochet, half double crochet decrease, half double crochet, half double crochet decrease, half double crochet, and you're just going to keep on going all the way around until you get back to the start. Close of the slip stitch, chain 1 and come back. Just pull a little bit through, and you're just going to take your scissors and fasten that off. And then using a yarn needle, I've got a bunch of ends here because my yarn kept ending. Anyway, using a yarn needle, you're just going to flip your hat and use your yarn needle just to weave your tail ends in through the stitches on the inside of your hat to hide them and just to secure it. And then you're done. You're ready to wear your textured bobble messy bun hat or ponytail hat, whatever you want to call it. But I hope you like it. Please make sure that you click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and keep an eye out for more patterns and video tutorials being added all the time.